Aw, baby Glenn is playing the victim here. He's evil as shit. Glenn's like, he was completely duped by close friend Tim Ballard. Do you guys really believe that? Glenn Beck, a conservative talk show host and close friend of Tim Ballard. You know Tim Ballard. You know him very well because you're a close friend. You know he's a perv. So he spoke out against his longtime friend, calling the accusations against him pretty ugly. Beck discussed the accusations against his friend on his podcast, The Glenn Beck Program, saying he put his media company to work investigating the case because he needed to know the truth. At first, when the accusations of sexual misconduct on our mission started to make their way into the media, Ballard allegedly told Beck, and he did not really know what the charges were or who the accusers were. Accusations of sexual misconduct on anti-human trafficking missions first broke in mid-September. Let's stop there. We've been actually talking about the bullshit that these human trafficking organizations are just in general. So if you don't listen to the women or victims of it, you're the asshole, and you were fine with his conduct the whole time. We're just doing that, but he's trying to paint himself as, I had no idea. I had no idea. Okay, so at the time, Beck said he was on the phone with Tim all the time. Of course, yes, you know him, dude. You know him extraordinarily well, inside and out. Just a couple of weeks ago, Sunday morning, Beck said he found himself trying to talk him down. Just a couple of weeks ago on Sunday morning, Beck said he found himself trying to talk him down. If this is true, then you have something to worry about. If this is not true, Beck said on his podcast, the Ballard should trust in God. You should trust in God. Oh my God. Not long after that, Beck said his friend's story started to fall apart. When have men's stories never fell apart? But you guys usually make excuses for it. Because trust, if this was 2010 again, Beck would be going, they're all liars. They're trying to take it down. The pedos are after, this thing. Okay, so the next Monday, Beck said he could not talk with any clarity on his podcast because he no longer knew what was true anymore. Dude, you believe in shit that's not true all the time. So that's why you have that problem, dude. I hate people like that. And they're always these ultra religious people. And like you'll literally tell them, oh, somebody's trying to like get rid of you. Because this one girl did that. I go, yeah, they're trying to get you kicked out. Because you know what that means. If they do that, they're kicking us all out. So, blah, 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 blah. Then she's like, I didn't know what to think is real. It's like, do these people even have just general common sense? It's like, nobody, what would be the purpose of that? It's like, it affects me too. So, yeah, no. And then she gets us all kicked out. Yeah, yeah. And it was her own downfall, actually. But anyway, that's what it's reminding me of here, where Glenn is playing this thing like, I don't know what's true anymore. I don't know. Maybe leave your religion. That might help you a little bit, get some clarity on this planet. Okay, it says Beck and Ballard had been friends for more than a decade. Yeah, he's a perv. You absolutely do. So that's just, we all know. See, you know what it tells us, though? What a perv that Glenn Beck is. I've been dragging him forever. That's why I said, I dragged him to shit, like in that early portion. I go, yeah, and you guys are all close with the fucking government. Interesting, guys. Interesting, men. No one's playing fucking innocent up in here. Working together on issues of human trafficking. Yeah, because you know more than us women, on that topic. Through our rescue and Beck Nazarene fund, Beck said he felt completely duped. Will Ballard was hoping he could count on Beck to defend him. Because Beck's like, I normally do. If the climate was a little 2010, I would have, but I'm desperate right now, and I'm barely holding on with the string. Okay, so he said he could not tell people what was true if he had no idea. Beck wanted facts, and because he's not an investigative reporter and was too close to the story, he tasked Blaze Media, his own media company, yeah, that's good, and his journalists to investigate. Beck said on his podcast, the investigation took hundreds of hours and consumed much of the work at Blaze Media for 2 weeks. Yeah, so you could take your own media people and stalk whoever the fuck you want, right? You know, white men, right? I want my own fucking media so I could do this and hide behind it because you don't know what they're doing on other stuff, right? I don't trust them. Just from that early portion there, just from this shit, because I'm like, oh, you have your little buddy over there and fucking man and everything else, right? And he's a pervert. And we know, and they're starting to out those people. I go, yeah, So you know, he was a total saint in front of you. No, We see the locker room talk, right? You guys feel very comfortable in private talking shit about women all the time, so you fucking know, son of a bitch. Don't play that game up in here. So he said the story would be ready on Monday, October 2nd, and requested a comment from Ballard be featured. His reporters were unable to get Ballard on record answering the accusations made against him as of Monday, so they waited to publish. Lucky him. By Tuesday, Beck said they were ready to publish with or without Ballard's commentary. That's when a call came into the Blaze from an attorney representing 5 women who had spoken to Blaze reporters for the story, asking the publication not to publish because they didn't give permission. Attorney Suzette was hired to represent a group of women making accusations against Ballard. She held a news conference September 27th on the steps of the Utah State Capitol, where she read statements on behalf of the alleged victims who she said had chosen to remain anonymous. Maybe they were going to out the victim. I don't know what happened. Glenn would totally do that shit. Like, I don't know. But the statement alleged former Operation Underground Railroad CEO Tim Ballard subjected the women to sexual manipulation, spiritual manipulation, grooming, and sexual misconduct. Beck said they had the interviews on tape and felt like they could legally go ahead, but decided to hold the story, not wanting to re-victimize people if the allegations were indeed true. You're telling me that Glenn has some type of soul up in here? I don't believe it. Charges, Beck said, are pretty ugly. He listened to the interviews on tape and no longer believes his friend Tim Ballard is being truthful. I could tell you none of you are being truthful. Beck said on his podcast of the now unpublished report, our goal was to be fair and honest, and I think this is one of the fairest articles I've read. The conservative talk host said he originally got a call from someone representing the women saying that they wanted to talk to him and tell their story. He refused the interview personally, saying he was too close to Ballard. Blaze News director Leon Wolf was asked with the assignment of investigating the allegations against Ballard. Beck said he told the staff, I don't care how it ends or where it ends, I just want to know the truth. After listening to the interviews himself, Beck said he began to feel betrayed. He was my friend. He was a friend of mine. I still consider him a friend, but a friend, I think, who is gravely misguided and needs to change his ways. No, he actually needs to go to jail. Here we go. We got the Ashton Kutcher friend here. Okay. Beck admitted he could be wrong, noting that he wasn't there, but added, I have seen the text messages and I've read the quotes and listened to the tape of the interviews, and I will tell you, I believe one side. He continued, it brings me no joy to say this. Okay, he's actually taking victim side. What do you get out of this, Glenn? Yeah, it's going to make you look bad if you want to defend it. As for the women who are accusers of Ballard and offered the interviews to the Blaze, Beck said, I know you were afraid, but the truth set you free. But the truth set you free. Let the chips fall where they may. This is an important thing. You bet. You bet. Be honest. Turn yourselves in. Every single one of you. And then there'll only be like about 100 people outside of jail. Okay, now Tim Ballard has denied the accusations against him. Representatives for Ballard approached KUTV 2 News, asked to do a sit-down interview. KUTV agreed to do an interview with Ballard on the conditions that no question was off the table. Since that conversation, Ballard's representatives postponed the interview and have not gotten back to KUTV 2 News. Did you guys see that picture of him in his like little ND shorts and his tattoo? I don't know. I won't even put it on here because I don't want to gross anybody out. Yeah, Glenn. Wah, 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 wah.